Man, I hope you guys can hear me now. So I just want to go over some of the things here because we've got some really interesting stuff regarding the market. I apologize that the markets have not been open. And let me just make sure that you guys can hear me here real quick. Yep, you guys can. Excellent. All right. So you guys can hear me. So I want to bring up a couple things. Now, I apologize. I haven't been here for the last few days, or last about a week and a half, just because I had some personal stuff I didn't tend to. But really, what I've been really looking at, I have been paying attention to the markets and making sure that the markets are doing what I think they're going to be doing. So, like I said, we're definitely moving up to these junctional areas. We are at some higher time from SMAs that are definitely moving in a way where we are definitely going to be able to see what's going on here in the near future. We're going to be seeing some either retracements or pushing through the market. So it's going to be really interesting to see where we're at. Now, I'm looking at Shiba Inu simply because Shiba Inu, everybody is totally digging off Shiba Inu. Half of the world has Shiba Inu. So when it moves, the rest of the world looks at it. So I want to bring it up here real quick. You guys should be able to hear me fairly good, I believe. And it looks like my stuff is glitching. I'm in the middle of a trade right now with S&P 500 right now, where I'm long here. So I just want to keep the chart up, and it's looked like it's causing I'm having a problem here. It looks like I'm just stuck here. Nice. Come on. Let me go ahead and see if this will help. I just want to make sure I hit T1 here before I move forward. There we are. Okay, boom. All right, now that that's done, let me go ahead and shut off some of these. Shut off some of this stuff here real quick. All right. There's a bit of a delay, and I apologize about that. Let's take this offline. There we are. All right, that should be working a little bit better for me. Let's check it out. It's killing me, Smalls. It's killing me. Could you guys hear me out there? I think that is good. All right. I'm really glitchy, man. I don't understand why it's not working here. Let me try some of this stuff here real quick. I'm looking to purchase some mirrors and buying my girl a dress. I do not know why it is having issues, but it is. Looking to build some compost. You guys are seeing everything now. Here we go. I do not know why it's still not wanting to work. Apologize about that. I normally would have music, but I've been flagged by Facebook a number of times where they have taken down my streams. So I'm now at a point where I just am not going to play any music. Thank you, Facebook, for messing it up. Appreciate you guys. You guys are great. You're really good at that. Pink sale. Here we are. I think it's coming through a little bit better now. There we are. Okay. Now I'm looking at that. Let's go ahead and go into the charts here real quick now. Let me know if you guys can hear me good, and see, and if I'm glitching, please let me know. That'd be great. So let me know in the comments, and so I can sit there and see and make sure that I am good. So let's go into the charts here real quick. All right, let's go to the S&P 500 real quick. So we've definitely seen the S&P 500 pushing up this month. And last month, we definitely engulfed the whole entire candle from the previous month. Now we're coming up into these areas here. So this on a monthly chart, we're definitely coming into the 8 and 20. Is it going to be able to hold for the month, or are we going to push it through? It looks like we already pushed it through, but we don't know until the end of the month. Once the month finishes, because sometimes you'll see it come up and then see it come back down here below the SMAs here, and then turn around and continue down. So it's something that you need to be mindful of when you guys are trading this. If you're long term, making sure that you understand that we might not be, this just could be just a pullback into a continued leg, a longer leg down. So you need to be mindful of that. This area here, as you can see on the weekly, did get violated. We did have a little bit of a sell-off from here, but not much. It looks like we continued up with this doji, bit of a doji to continue up. So there you go. It's going to pull up that daily. Day we had, like again, we came up, we sold off from this here, and then have a little bit of some gains, but you can see here that it pushed right through. Now our next junctional point, as we can see here, is this area here of resistance. You see here, this is always a little bit hard because you never know if this is going to hold or not. But you can see that we have the 200 period moving average right here. So this is something that you need to be mindful of, because we could see it turn around from here as well and continue down, at least down to a 41.15 area here. This is I think it's the next support level that we could see the S&P 500 sell off to if this area holds, and then come back down, get some more buyers, and continue up if it does. Or we could simply just see it turn around from here and continue down into this area and create a new leg down. So let's check out the next one. Let's check out the NASDAQ NQ here. NQ, we're continuing up from our area here. You can sit here and see this, that we are definitely moving. Give me 1 second, guys. Looks like somebody might want to jump up in here. All right. We can see here that we're definitely hitting some higher time frame SMAs here on the 8, which is sitting right here. We did come back down to this area here on the monthly. We have that 20 sitting right here. So pushing through that 8, we might be testing that 20. So this area here in between, I am always mindful of that, because we can always turn around between 14,000 to 13,004 area here, just because of where we're at. Here we have that 200 period moving average, which is, or not the 200, but the 89 moving average, as well as we have that 50 sitting right here. So we need to make sure that we're paying attention to that. We have that 26. So this is where I'm saying we have these areas here that you don't know if the market's going to turn around or not, but they are testing areas. The market does want to come and test these areas to gain either buyers and sellers stepping in. If the market hits it, okay, and all of a sudden there's a slew of sellers stepping in, right? Well, institutions typically want to buy where sellers are stepping in. So this is where you want to be mindful of paying attention to the dome, paying attention to time and sales, and seeing if either the market is primarily net short or long at these junction points, because you could see turnarounds at these levels. So making sure these are dynamic levels that move, whereas where our supply and demand zones are static zones that pretty much just stay in one spot, right? So you need to be mindful of both and which way they're moving and how price or orders are coming in at those levels. It's really important to be able to be mindful of that. Now let's go ahead and pull this back down to here. Boom. This right here, our 8 was up here. You can see how it climbed, guys, over the past week that I wasn't here. So yeah, you can see here that we are putting in a little bit of a racetrack down, but we are still climbing. So until we hit some really higher time from SMAs and or zones, we can definitely see it turning around in this area if it does. Now you can see here we have a ton of buyers and sellers, or excuse me, we have a bunch of sellers sitting in this area, plus a bunch of SMAs up in this area for the NQ. We know that that not the Nasdaq, but that Bitcoin follows typically the Nasdaq. So I just got to be mindful of it. Let's check out that daily here real quick. The daily here is really interesting, just simply because we're definitely stair stepping up almost to a T. Look, we rallied, we hit the 50, we sold off, but then we found support right here at this little demand zone on the daily. Now we're sitting there and we're climbing up, and you can see that we literally are bouncing off these SMAs now, where we're finding support. So typically when we're doing and we're following these SMAs, it will take a higher time frame SMA, which is what we're seeing up in this level here on the Nasdaq, right? And so a lot of times we should have a pretty good uh, uh, some type of reaction off of these levels, simply because there's so many SMAs sitting here that it's almost like they're just doing a rope a dope. They're just bringing in all the novices here to push it up, and then they're going to probably sell off. Be mindful of that, right? If you're long, cool. If we continue up, great. But take your profits up in that area here at that 14 area. Oh, one last little bit. I forgot. Give me 1 second. Forgot one of the most important things, guys. Here. You guys are probably guessing it right now. What? Type in the comments. What do you think we forgot? Or what I forgot? Not what we forgot. What I forgot. There we go. Here it is. My computer is really running slow right now. It's actually driving me nuts. I don't know why. Let's check it out real quick while we're just waiting for my stuff to load up. Nice. we'll see what happens. I got short up in this area here earlier today, and then got my T1 right in this area here. I thought we were going to see a sell-off, but once we started getting above the SMAs here, then I said, it's time to go long for myself. I'm waiting for a kind of this, a little bit of, I try to buy on red candles, right? That's near SMAs. And so for me, so I waited for this little red candle come down. This rallied up to here, and then we'll see what happens. So I was able to get T1 here. Here we are. All right. We got to place this in here real quick. Let's go ahead. Um, Disclaimer here, no investment advice. The information provided in this video and website and live stream does not constitute as investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, or any other sort of advice and should not be treated and not treat any of the videos, websites, contents as such. Moonrock and guests do not recommend that any cryptocurrencies or any other assets that are mentioned should be bought, sold, or held by the viewer or listener. Do conduct your own due diligence and consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. I am not a financial advisor, and this content is only meant for entertainment purposes. Please consult a tax professional on any gains or losses as a result of investing into crypto or any assets invested in. This is not financial advice, but it's for entertainment social purposes only. There you guys go. Let's go bring this back down. Here we go. So you guys can see here that we'll see if we continue up. I have a different zone on my trading view. Zones are a bit off their time frame, which I don't really necessarily like. They don't allow me to be able to switch this to a certain time frame. They when it comes to trading, like the zones are based off of time frames and hourly changes. So I like to have my hourly changes set to a certain point. So it just kind of frustrates me with them. But apart from that, it's a fairly good zone that we did mark here. We'll find out what happens here. Now let's go ahead and check now Bitcoin here. Now Bitcoin is looking really interesting, and this is the reason why. Right, we came in, hit our area here, right, on the monthly. So we rallied up. Remember, I pointed out that our monthly chart was much different than the Ethereum chart, right? That it wasn't really bullish, whereas the Ethereum chart was extremely bullish because of what it was showing. We had this big, huge Mariposa candle that almost reached to the top of the previous months, right? Whereas with Bitcoin, we barely even made it up halfway. So I'm definitely still bearish on Bitcoin, just primarily because it's not showing super strength. Now I know that we have V2, the merge, or not the merge, the new contract for Ethereum. So that's obviously where we're seeing a lot of that buying coming in. What's the old saying? Buy the rumor, sell the news, right? So that's where I think that's what we're seeing a big push because, hey, what's up, James? Hope you're doing well, buddy. It's good to see you. I sit there and I look at this, and for me, when I'm looking at Bitcoin versus Ethereum, right? I mean, and like I said, Ethereum might take over sooner or later as the dominant coin because of the utilities and everything like that correlates with it. And there are some major coins that are in, like Shiba Inu, right? Like, well, I think Shiba Inu now has its own blockchain, or at least coming out with this sooner or later. But still, there are some major coins within crypto or that are within Ethereum that we definitely do see some major movements. It has a lot of utility, and it's going to be really interesting to see once they come out with the low fees, seeing how many people are going to just start launching on it. Because I mean, it's going to be as close, I mean, pretty close to BSC charging or fees. So it's going to be really interesting to sit there and see what goes on with that. But again, I want to point out that again, we're not seeing some major push-ups with Ethereum or with Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Now let's check out the weekly chart here. Now that weekly chart, again, we're starting to see more seller wicks over buyer wicks here, right? So again, I'm I'm a little hesitant to sit there and say that we're going to rally up, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Um, but to me, I'm definitely a little bit more bearish. And we came up into this area here, and we are definitely hitting some supply. So we're going to see how we respond here. Like I've said before, if we do see, like I am seeing a bit of a slippery slide here down to where I can definitely see us getting below, again, the 17,000 mark here. So this can be interesting. This is fuck. I apologize, guys. You guys, I don't know if you guys can hear me now. What's going on here? Let's go pull this up over here. You guys cannot see me. Let's try this out. And let's try my audio. Okay, guys, so you guys should be able to hear me now. Please, please let me know. Please hear me. Hello? I think that's it. Okay. So you guys can see here that we definitely are having a bit of a sell-off here. Now let's check out that daily. The daily here is we see something similar to here, right? Where we're definitely seeing more seller wicks to come down. But I'm going to point out that we're not seeing a ton of volume on the push up, right? We can see that this one pushed up. We had some volume step in it, but then we definitely have that sell-off here. So this stair step, typically it might be algorithms just simply trying to put in buyers and sellers to see if they're going to, because what this is the thing I bring up again, right? That whenever you need a buy, you need a sell, right? Whenever you need a sell, you need a buy. So many times what institutions will do is they'll come in and they will, right, push the market up to bring in buyers. And as buyers step in, they sell off to them, right? Or they sell their shorts to the buyers. And all of a sudden we sit here and we see this type of movement, right? So this could be them putting in their and the reason I say it is because we have more seller wicks than buyer wicks. So we don't really see a lot of buy wicks pushing up. So this is one of those things that for me, when I'm looking at this, I'm definitely seeing more sellers pushing this down. Now, we do have some SMAs on the daily and weekly and monthly down in this level here, which is I've reported before already here. So making sure that we understand that we do have support in this area. Not much, but it's still support that we definitely could see. Like I said, I'm definitely more inclined to be looking at this 13,000, 11,000 area, 10,000 area for Bitcoin. Okay. And we'll see what happens from there. We definitely will. But this still just kind of shows weakness to me. Let's check out our daily here. The daily, like I said, is putting just more seller wicks than buyer wicks. Check out the Ethereum now. Ethereum, you can definitely see definitely more buyers than sellers. Again, though, I want to point out that we don't see a lot of buyer wicks versus seller wicks, especially on this push up. I want to see more buyer wicks that shows more conviction of people really wanting to buy. Meaning, when the market drops down, right, you see institutions then buying it back up, right? So they'll drop the market and then buy it back up. And so when you see those on the daily candles, you'll be able to sit there and engage which way the market really wants to move to the left or to the or up or down based off of certain things that communicate to us. So make sure that we're paying attention to that. I have no idea why my thing keeps blinking in and out. I don't know. I apologize, guys. So now let's go ahead and look at this area here of support. Now we can see how these are all kind of chilling here. So you could see we could see some type of at least bounce into this area before we come down into this area. So maybe we bounce off in this area here, make a lower high, and then sell off to the lows. So but be mindful for that. Here we go. That's for Ethereum. I want to point out again, just with Ethereum, how with Ethereum, you can see here that we already came to the previous candle peak, right? And now apologize, guys. 1 second as my stream system pulls up. Let's try this again. Hello, can you guys hear me? Just let me know if you guys can hear me. I think you guys can hear me. Let me check here real quick just to make sure. Oh, yeah, you can hear me. Perfect. All right. So and here we are. Yeah, I'm sorry for the technical difficulty, guys. Um, technology isn't necessarily my 100% strong suit. I'm not an ignorant to it, but when it comes down to the nuances of it, I do always have a little issues in regards to it. Let's try this again. All right. Here we are. You guys should be able to see me now. All right. So you guys can see here that the Ethereum month, we definitely came up into this area of the peak. So we are hitting the higher time frame SMA sitting here. This monthly here, or excuse me, this weekly SMA, we're definitely hitting that 20 SMA. So it's going to be interesting to see if we do see a hard sell-off. I can see us coming down to the lows of last week to about the 1600 mark, and then from there, guys, I do see us coming down to this 1540, and then after that, but I do have to admit we are seeing some buying step in, which is nice on this rally up on the weekly. So hey, we'll see what happens here, but we definitely have the 20 period moving average that's definitely selling off of it. Let's check out BNB. BNB has been strong like bull. As you can see here, we blew right through our supply zone here. I believe that was a weekly zone. That was a daily zone. You can see we've been blowing through these daily zones. We had a little bit of a sell-off from it, so we came tested it and the sell-off, but we did not see a turnaround here. So you can see here now we hit this zone right here. It's definitely showing some strength. So we'll see here. We did close, and we definitely now are below this 8 moving average. So at least down to this 20, and I'm assuming we at least come down to here. That's all right. So let's go ahead and just pull this back up here again. So we hit this right here. I think I marked it right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe this is where it was. So let's go ahead and pull up. We'll pull in here on BNB. This is an area of support. We definitely have some moving average sitting in this area here, so you can capture it back down to the 283. And then another area you want to be looking at if this does not hold, I would say right here. Um, I think it was on the weekly here that I was looking at. Yeah, this is really where I'm looking at right here for the weekly. So these little areas here are just important, right? Where support is sitting. We have that 8 weekly moving average sitting in the support area here on 2 weeks ago, the demand zone. So somebody paying attention. And another area right here. We could hit this area here and see a turnaround, but I doubt it. Typically, when you have a middle one, they want to shoot it through it. So just to give that up, just to show you. As we look at the daily, you can see here that we pretty much have a racetrack down. Kind of go from there. Let's check out ADA here real quick. Actually, leave ADA. Let's check out ADA. ADA is still not. I thought we were going to see much more strength coming in here, but it's not as strong as I thought we were going to see it. So I'm more hesitant to. Oh wow, it's the whole entire thing. That's awesome. So we got the 8 moving average sitting right here on that weekly or on that monthly. So make sure we're mindful there of what's going on. And then we can see right here. We're in between on the weekly, the 8 and 20. We're starting to find support definitely on that 8 on the weekly. So paying attention to this little area here of support, we could come back down into this area and rally back up to that 20. So be mindful of that on ADA. If you're looking to dollar cost average, maybe dollars start at that 50-cent mark when we come back down into this area here, right? Just simply because, who wants to pay a higher price for something they get at a lower price? So be mindful of this right here. Right there we go. Let's check out the daily. Daily, guys, you can see that we're starting to find support on this 8. So we'll see what happens here. Be mindful of also this, that we could see it rally from up, just because but I don't think so, because we put in this big supply wick right here, which we're bouncing off of this supply wick, so we can see it come down. Let's check out the XRP. All right, so XRP, we can see, jump here to that month. We're, like you said, we're coming up. We're in between these wicks here, so I can see it's coming back down to the lows here, maybe before we see another rally from here. Let's go to that weekly. Weekly, we're finding support at this 8 moving average here. So be mindful of this. This is the area that, like, this is that 30, 36 mark area here. So 35, 36 mark on XRP. So yeah, guys, be paying attention. Like I said, I think we could come back down to this area 29 before we see it continue up. I am definitely bullish from a fundamental level on XRP. It's everything that they have going for them. We'll see what happens with that, the litigation issue that they have. But hopefully that blows away here real soon. We look at the daily. Come on. The daily, like I said, isn't looking too hot. We are going sideways off of this 100 period moving average while putting in supplier wicks. So I very much do see us maybe selling off at least down to the lows here. and find out where it's going to retest. Next, we're going to go to Sol. Go to Solana. So Solana is definitely looking a bit more stronger. You can see it because of just the volume here stepping in. But we do have a bit of some seller volume stepping in too. So be mindful there. But you can see here that we are definitely trying to find some type of support on an SMA. Let's check out the monthly. Monthly, nothing there. Weekly. We have the weekly sitting right here. We have that 8-period moving average. So you can see here that we're definitely putting in more seller wicks than buyer wicks. We do have buyer wicks. We have that long one right here, but then we have continued seller wicks stepping in. So you definitely see that they are definitely putting in a short position as they are going long. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they actually move forward with this on that weekly basis. Let's move this here. At 20. Where's that weekly here? On that weekly here. And then we have another 20 right here sitting in this position right here at this SMA. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it on Sol. Be mindful of that. Man, I am having problems with my StreamYard in regards to showing my face. That's really interesting. All right, so this is in a nutshell from here. Maybe be looking for here we are. Here we go again. All right. So you can see this. Be mindful of that 8-period moving average. Go. Let me know in the comment section, if you will, guys. See if if you can hear me or if I'm glitchy. That would help me out. Right? I don't think you guys can hear me. I know you guys can hear me. My problem is I'm just a bit glitchy. So let's check out Doge. Doge is similar. Don't understand. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to do the live stream visually, so I'll just go over this here for you guys, just to kind of go over stuff. All right. Next thing, we're going to go over Dogecoin here real quick. Where is Dogecoin? There we are. Like I said, it's pretty similar. Went through, tested this area here on, I believe this is the monthly, no, weekly. So this is a daily, must be a daily here. This is a daily zone right here. We came and touched it. We came and tried to touch that higher one here. Looks like we probably hit some type of SMA. Yeah, we hit an SMA on the weekly 20 period moving average. Now we are selling off. So you can see here the effects of that 20 kicking the market down here. Right above it, we have that 200 period moving average. It looks like it might start to trend here because price is above it. So wait for that retracement back down into this area here. We actually had it right here. You can see rally up, came back down on the daily and pushed back up. So let's see what happens when we could see a sell-off back down to this area here. We'll wait and see. You can see we have a huge green area here to push the market up. So there's a lot of sellers there. The only problem is we have no seller weight, or we have no buyer wicks coming and seeing this push down. So we'll see what happens here. Let's check out DOT. DOT's a little bit different. You can see that it's definitely weaker. Seeing it turn around in this area here. I see it's at least coming down to that 740 area. So you dollar cost averagers, be looking to actually go through and kind of gauge to see what happens. Hello? For whatever reason, I am having trouble with my whole entire setup here. Can you guys hear me? There we are. Okay. Let's try this here. All right, so let's look at the monthly chart here. Nothing's really in our way except for it's just coming up to maybe come back down. We're just consolidation in this period. On the weekly, we can see here that DOT is definitely starting to show a little bit of strength, just simply because we have a bunch of green. But we are starting to put in a little red on this Tuesday. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. But we definitely are hitting these higher time frame SMAs on that weekly. We're definitely hitting the 20. And also we hit that, or not DOT. DOT is a little bit different. Yeah, guys, all right. So DOT is definitely looking weak here. Yeah, I can see it's coming back down and testing the lows right in here of 652. Definitely. We'll see what happens. But that I would definitely, I wouldn't be shocked to see us push through here. This 8 is the only thing that's holding it. Well, if this 8 holds it, then it's good. But if not, then we'll see. Let's check out. We already did SHIB earlier today. Let's do AVAX. AVAX looks similar to DOT, whereas it's just basically in between SMAs. And let's find out what happens here. So we got the monthly here, the monthly 20 sitting right here. We have that 8 monthly sitting right here. that weekly. It's the weekly 20, and we have that weekly 8 sitting right above it. So here you go. This very much could see it turn around and come back down to this area here. So be mindful of that, guys. Um, if you are definitely looking to go long, and we did put in a topping pattern right here with the wick here. So we might see it come back down to that 22 area. So that'd be a nice little short there to wait for that to come back and see it retrace into that area for dot, or excuse me, for AVAX. Let's look at the daily here real quick. Um, daily here, we're definitely came through that 8. Now we're going to be testing this 20 at least. I'm assuming this 8 down in here. So from the 27 mark to the 23 mark. Be a nice little short. Let's check it out. Matic. Everybody's favorite moneymaker. This here been really interesting because they have a lot of fundamental news that makes it very strong, extremely strong, from the blockchain down to what they're doing with all the other stuff. So it's pretty cool to sit there and see this coin develop. We have the 8-period moving average still, which we might be hitting and then seeing it come back down and turn around. So here we are. So we're definitely hitting this area here on that week. Now let's check out the daily. All right, daily here, guys, you can see that we are just gradually moving up. We hit this period, 200 period moving average, and we aren't necessarily finding real any support except on this 20 period moving average. So I've seen, since we've actually cut through this a couple times, I can see it's come back down to this area of 69.99 from the 89.99 mark. So be mindful of this area. Good little place to pick up some more Matic at these levels. Boom. There we go. Let's try Tron. TRX. TRX is looking a bit shy on the day simply because we're just seeing it consolidate here. So it's really interesting. We're definitely bouncing off between this 20 period moving average as well as the 8 moving average on that monthly. We are definitely playing off of these. So it's really interesting to see which way it breaks towards the end of the month. Is it going to break down or is it going to break up? And we will find out. Check out that weekly chart here. We're definitely putting some buyer wicks in this area here, but we also have seller wicks up in this area. So more buyers than sellers, so I'm being more bullish. But we also have that 89 period moving average happening here on the daily. So then we have a weekly zone here. So I take away that bullishness. I see us more or less turning around and maybe even going short once we see it break below that 8-period moving average and come back for a retracement up to it. Alrighty then. Next, let's try Uniswap. Uniswap, as you guys can see here, I can see us coming back down to this area here and then rallying back up, at least into our $12, $11 mark. But we did hit this monthly. As you can see, last month we hit it. Now we're just following it down. So, yeah, that's not necessarily the greatest sign for Uniswap as well. And we also have a nice slide down to the lows of 2022. So, yeah, I can see us moving down at least up to here. We'll see what happens. That's 3 cents, or $3, and right now it's $8. By the way, that's still an incredible price for Uniswap. I think buying Amazon for $8. All right, let's go to the next one here. All righty, here we go. Uniswap, similar. We're not putting any major buy or sell signals. We're just kind of going sideways here for the last week or two. We'll find out what happens. Boom. Let's go to the next one. Leo. Leo is not showing much strength here. We did hit that 8-period moving average. Now looking like to sell off. But it's actually has been showing some strength in comparison to other parts of the crypto market. We had a bit of a sell-off, but man, it has showed strong here. So actually, Leo is showing strength there. It's pretty nice. Check out Leo, guys. That's actually really impressive. Real impressive. Whereas if you, let's say we look at Bitcoin, right? And we do Leo here. There we go. Leo's right here. So you can see that's a strong company there. Look to kind of capture some of these markets, though. The fact is that it did not hit. That we did not cross this 8-period moving average is something that is for concern. Nothing too bad, because I mean the fact is that it's still retaining a lot of its value market share. So that community is strong. Yeah, guys, wow, it's really impressive. So we are putting a little bit of a topping pattern here, a lower high, a little bit of a lower low here. We'll see what happens when it comes to push out. They're going to push it up. They're going to drop it down. This big seller wick right here isn't too comforting. Sit there for the longs. If we are going to drop, I'm thinking next spot, honestly, is right here, which is at $3 mark. And then after that, it's bye-bye Chinatown, 1 point. This is 170, right? $1.70. So that's pretty big sell-off from the only spot that they really got is right here. But it's like, again, you have your moving period average right in this area of $3. So that's really, really good. And the fact is that they've beaten the all-time high since the beginning. It says more about them than anything else. Now let's go ahead and check out Litecoin. Let's check out that daily here real quick, one last one. See how it's testing the A and these other coins? It actually is showing more weakness than strength coming in for this point. So maybe look for a retracement back down to this $3, $3.73 to $4.37. So yeah, let's check out Litecoin and we'll finish it up, guys, here. Alrighty, so Litecoin looks very similar to a lot of the other coins we've been looking at. Like a big sell-off last few months, right? And now we're seeing this consolidation here. Only difference is that Litecoin here is at the peak of this big, huge sell-off of a month. So that does bode well for us for Litecoin. You can see here, guys, that we are definitely playing off this 8-period moving average and finding some support on that weekly. So be mindful for us to come back down to this area to get buyers and or sellers. We hit the supply zone here. We had a nice little sell-off, but if this was really starting to push down, we would see it just scrape behind it and then push back up. So making sure that you're understanding that if the market comes down with a retracement, right, and typically use a zone that you can use to be able to make money off of. Now let's go to the daily. Daily, similar, boom, drop, drop, drop. So we're having lower highs here. that's actually really interesting. So for Litecoin, you can see here, guys, that we definitely came up, touched our zone here on that daily, and now we're having a little sell-off. We want to see a lower high, or excuse me, a lower low, right? This lower low is going to let us know that we are now continuing back in that downtrend. If we see it keep just stair-stepping up, it's another indication that it might be moving up. All right, guys, have a blessed day. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, my internet will be working and you guys will be able to see me. Until then, many blessings, and I will talk to you guys soon.